Hi, this is Julie Becker, and if you were looking for some information about how to get unstuck in life, then I've got some good information for you. And how would I know about that? Well, I'm a stay-at-home mom and online entrepreneur, but it wasn't always that way. I used to work in corporate years ago and just got very stuck there and tired of that, moved on and ended up starting in uh, my own business, and it was in just an offline network marketing company, and it was a great company, but then got stuck again and elected to go online. And finally, I started to get a little bit more unstuck. I mean, I did make a series of changes because I wanted to get unstuck, and then things really started taking off. And I'm going to tell you how I did that, and something that's very simple that you can use to help yourself get unstuck too. Well, it has to do with the stories that we tell. All right, everybody has a story, right? I have a story, you have a story. And the issue is that we all have a story about our past, right? We all have our past story, and we have the story of today, where we're at today. And the issue is that going forward, for most people, they keep thinking about their story in terms of where they've been and where they are. And so what happens there? There's no room to go forward or anywhere because you're thinking about what has been and what is. And this leads you to getting stuck. I heard it put this way, and I really identify with this, and it's just a really interesting way to put it, and I think you'll get it when I say it. And you know what I'm talking about when somebody says they're telling it like it is. I'm just going to tell it like it is. Well, telling it like it is okay if you're happy with where it is, then telling it like it is completely cool and completely okay. But here's the issue: if you're not happy or you're not satisfied with where you are and what you're doing, then telling it like it is holding it like it is. It's keeping you where it is. It's a simple concept, but it's very, very, very powerful, and people really just don't think it is this simple, but it really is. Here's the issue: if you can start telling the story about where you're going, and it has to be a believable story, okay? Not some crazy, like, by the end of this year, I'm going to have $5,000. And your brain just can't wrap its mind around that because it doesn't even sound like it's real or plausible. That's not going to get you anywhere. I'm talking about thinking about things that may be very attainable to you, to focus on what your story looks like, to think about what your life looks like, to think about you in it. Like, for example, I have a new deck on the back of my house, and if you could picture it and envision it and see yourself on it, relaxing and looking at your yard, if you can, see yourself basically, in a situation that is very believable to you, that's what's important. Not saying, I'm going to have some ridiculous goal that you could accomplish if you wanted to, but it doesn't sound real to you. And here's the thing: if you believe things, if you believe in something, think about how you feel when you believe in something. When you believe in something so much and you just know it, what happens? It starts driving your thoughts towards that all the time, and it starts driving your actions. Thoughts are very powerful things, my friend, and telling a different story, it has to be believable, because if you believe that story, you start thinking that that story is true, and you start acting as if that story is true. And it's really not a lie, right? If you absolutely believe in the story of where you're going, and you do write your own stories, if you believe that, then that's where you will go, because your actions will drive it. It absolutely is that simple. Something that may help you as a really great resource. It's a book, you probably heard about it, but if you haven't, it's called Think and Grow Rich. And even if you don't want to grow rich, even if it's not your goal, this is a great book to help you in all different areas of life. And one of my favorite things about this book is that they have a section for you to write down, to capture, to think about, and write down your major definite purpose. And when you do that, you can write down a major definite purpose that you want to achieve in maybe 3 months, and then you can rewrite it and always constantly keep going. And the issue with doing that is that you are starting to write a new story. You are thinking about a new story and you are creating it. And they've got great ideas. I mean, and basically the structure will tell you how to do it and what you need to put that into place. But that is an absolutely great resource for you. So I just wanted to share that with you, because telling it like it is has no place in your life if that's not where you want to be. You need to tell it how you want it to be. Tell it about where you're going. And here's the thing too, I will just one little quick insight here also. Sometimes you're surrounded by people who like to hear about you. They like to hear you tell it like it is, because that's what they're comfortable with, that's what they expect, and that's what they know. And these may be family members, friends, and things like that. So it's okay when you're creating your new story, to find some new friends who are moving along in that direction. And it's okay not to tell those people in that circle who are used to you telling it like it is. It's okay to not tell them the story of where you're going, because they might fight against that. And so you can keep it to yourself. It's okay, as long as you tell yourself that that's where you're going. Because your actions will start speaking, and then people will start seeing a different you and different actions and different outcomes. And then when you start telling the story of where you're going, it'll be easier for them to get on board. And if not, they get to go over here. So listen, the universe loves speed. Start telling the story where you're going. Quit looking behind. Experience is a great teacher, but it doesn't define who you are tomorrow. You are writing your story. It defines who you are today. Certainly, all the experiences you've had up to this point define who you are today. But you are the writer of your own story, so you need to write the one you want. Picture yourself in situations that you want to be in, and start telling yourself the story of where you're going. It's very powerful, people. It works. I know. I've done it continuously. I've jumped, made huge jumps in career, in relationships, and a lot of other different areas of life spiritually. And it's all because I started telling myself the story of where I was going, and I believed it. So listen, one last thing. If you are interested in getting unstuck financially, then go ahead. I'm going to put a link in this video, and I'm going to show you the system that I used to get unstuck financially. So if you are in any way interested in that, you're looking for a change, you're looking to get unstuck financially, then go ahead and look and see what I do. And I always, in messages, if you enter your email, I always send my phone number so that people can call me and ask questions. So go ahead if you're interested, get that information, and if you have more questions, feel free to give me a shout. I'm very approachable. I'm just an online soccer mom who has a passion for helping other people and just sharing the wealth. So let's go get unstuck today, get unstuck in your life, and let's move on, move forward, and tell a new story. This is Julie Becker. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.